Good morning, everyone in YouTube land. It is the 27th of April, 2021. Kitana and I are on our way to Yardley, Pennsylvania. We have 3 jobs to do, all from the same roof. We're going to put up a cupola. We're going to reattach siding that is loose, and then we are going to paint the chimney. That's the jobs for today, and they begin right after this. I have here 2 pieces of 1x3. The length should be at least 2 feet, but they don't need to be the same length. What you want to do is make sure they're even, and you want to come down about 3 inches and drill a hole. You're going to put a screw into this hole so that the 2 pieces will pivot on each other. What that will do is allow me to use this to find the pitch of the roof. So what we're doing is we're going to slide the base of the cupola up the ladder here, and we're going to place it on the roof. The customer is not sure whether or not they want it centered where the little roof to the right is and the edge of the garage, or whether they want it centered between the chimney and the edge of the garage. So we're going to sit it in the middle, and whichever one he likes is the one he gets. So the distance from down there on the end to where this other roof starts on this end is 248 inches. So the center would be 124 inches. We're going to measure that out, sit this in place, and let the client see if he likes it there or not.
The client's going to come take a look and see if that's where he wants it.
You really can't hear the customer that well from up here on the roof, at least in the camera. So I'm gonna let you know. He's asking if that is centered between the roof and this little wall here from this addition, or if it's centered between the chimney and the roof. I let him know it was between the wall and the roof. He wants to look at it from the other side, so he's going to walk around and look at it from the roadside. His concern is that most of the people viewing this cupola are going to be seeing it from the main road, which is to his back right now, and he wants it to look right from there. Alright, so you can probably see the customer pointing, and then he's telling you move it over to the left. I'm not going to just move it arbitrarily. I want to do it with a measurement so I know it's exactly where it needs to be. So I'm stretching out the tape here. You really can't see it, but you can see my shadow. The measurement comes out to be 117 inches would be the center when based between the edge of the garage and the chimney. So I'm going to move this base over 117 inches to the center and see if he likes it there. I'm going to zoom in here on the customer because he's frailing his arms around like he's one of those inflatable advertisements that you see at the end of a mattress shop. He's kind of like directing a plane from 7 directions.
Right, do you want to see it from the other side at the 117? Now back to 117 on this one.
I like it like that. I like it closer up.
You like it at the 117?
You know what, 'cause your eyes focus on the chimney. You really don't focus on that little...
Right, well that's what I figured.
Yep.
But
that's perfect.
It all depends on what you like. You got to live here.
That's freaking perfect.
All right, 117 it is, pal.
Okay, looks good, man.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so this is right where the customer wants it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a mark right where the edge of the cupola meets the ridge vent on both sides. Then we're going to draw a line across it and we're going to cut out a 3/4 inch width here that this 3/4 inch piece of PVC will rest in. After we get that cut, we can get the angle of the roof, but that's going to need to be gone, so that the angle we get is from down here, not coming up a step. Otherwise your angle will be off. So if you have a ridge vent like this, you have to cut a groove, and it can be a little wider than 3/4 inch, as long as the outside cut is equal with the outside of both ends of the cupola. So get your outside mark on both, draw a line completely over, cut it again, and take out this piece that's right here.
A lot of times when you have a project to do, you just want to get it done. You're out in the cold, you're out in the heat, you want the final results without putting the time in, so you rush a little bit. Bernard Kelvin Clive said, don't measure your productivity by the hours, but by the results. So take your time and do a good job.
I'm in the shadow, but I'm sure you can see this line running right across the top of there. And we've got another one right there, and it is representing the end of the cupola. Now, if for some reason after you cut this, because you're going to have to cut in as well, 3/4 of an inch in, if it don't line up perfectly and you have to cut more off of here, widening it this way, that's fine, but don't cut it too far this way to begin with. Always start out right even with the end of this, and if it feels like it's too tight of a fit, you can always widen it just a tad more. Alright, so now that we got this line, we're going to sit this not right on the line, but inside the line, and make another mark here. And we're going to do the same on this side. And what we're doing is creating the 3/4 inch width that we need, so that we can trace that up as well, so we know what groove we're cutting out. Right there. So this all gets cut out.
Some of these ridge vents are quite rigid in the sense that they're not going to cut as easy as this one. This is an older ridge vent that's made primarily with a mesh instead of a hard plastic. So you might have to use a multi-tool or even a saw to get through it.
Like so. You're gonna have to make one area a little wider so that you can fit the gauge in there that you made. You're going to put that in like that, so it's right down the roof on both sides. Now you're going to drill a hole in here, put another screw in it, and make pencil marks here just in case it moves. You have a groove so you know exactly where to line it back up again once you get off the roof. So we're going to put another hole through here, drill another hole through here, put a screw in it, then drill a hole from the back side and put a screw in it, and that'll lock that angle in. And that's the angle that we want. Make sure these are flat to the roof. All of your little cutouts aren't under it. Once they're both flat to the roof, drill another hole through the wood. And then you just want to draw a pencil line here and a pencil line under here, making sure you lock in the measurement of exactly where that piece of wood is. This way, if it moves, you can line it back up. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to get the width of this. It's 21. So half of 21 is 10 and a half. Let the mark is 10 and a half. Then you're going to take a straight line down from there, like that. And you're going to come up and meet it as well. Put your pencil on the line. Put the pencil on the line, bring the square to it, and then continue the line down to the bottom. Now we got to get the angle on there that we got from the roof. To help you orientate the wood so it's right on that center line, you can draw a line between the bottom angle right here to the top angle right there where the two pieces of wood meet. If you draw a line between those 2 points, you can line that line up to the line you drew on the side of the cupola. Then you know you're right in the center and following the exact straight line down. You just got to make sure that the bottom of each of your boards goes to the corner of the base of the cupola. Just watch here, you'll see. Take this, you can hold that up like that. You're going to take this, you want this to rest on this bottom corner, that to rest on that bottom corner, and that line to be equal with that line there. Like so. And you're going to draw the pitch on there like so. Here's the moment of truth. After you get the one side cut and you get it sitting in there, then level this up and trace out exactly where the other side has to go. Don't cut through your ridge vent both times, because you'll probably be off because of the angles. Just cut one side of it, get your measurement for the roof with your angle finder, cut it so that it fits in there, and then set this in place after you make the cuts and trace out your roof shingle exactly where you want it to cut, and then cut the inside as well so it fits in. If you cut it prematurely by measuring, because your cupola is on a little bit of an angle here, that angle will change and you'll probably be cutting way out here. So just be careful of that and don't cut your second groove for the other side of the cupola until the first side is done and looks like that. You want to make sure your cupola is perfectly level on the roof. This way, both sides, you know, are equal. Alright, so this is what we got so far, and as you can see, it's level. What we did after we cut these strips out of the ridge vent on both sides, I took a shingle from the center and I cut it to follow the angle, the taper that this has on it, and I put it down with silicone and nailed it in, and then we'll silicone over the nail heads. This way it's a nice clean look right up to the end, because this is on a little bit of a pitch here. The side of the cupola is like that. It fits in there perfectly. That piece of shingle fits right underneath of it. Because there's a void under it where we cut through, the shingle just bends down under it, and then when we put some black silicone on there, you won't even see it. We're only going to silicone along the ridge cap, not down here, because if any water does get in, we want it to run out. So, word of advice, when the customer says, I got all the parts, you don't need to stop for anything, you should anyway. He did have all the parts. He even went as far as trying to put a lot of it together, like the weather vane and stuff. And this is the lag bolt he gave me. Looks good, right? But it's snapped off the minute it had some tension behind it. Fortunately, in the truck I had the same size and galvanized, higher grade, so they're stronger than these flimsy ones. Always bring your own stuff. I should have known better. I even said in the truck, we should stop it. Keep going. Live and learn. And you want to put a little silicone at the bottom of it. This way, when you drive it in, you're sealing the hole behind you, and your customer don't have to worry about leaks in his roof. Set it off to the side, lag them in again. This time, instead of on an angle, straight into the roof. After you get this on nice and solid like it is right now, silicone the hell out of the inside of it. But just where the ridge is, not below it. You go around the 2x4s that's in there holding it to the roof, and go around the top of the ridge. But don't do the bottom, because if water gets in, you want it to get out.
The top part I just handed to you, I think. Remember, one of them can change out because it's the back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Alright.
Did you want these ones?
We're going to put a little dab of silicone in each corner as an added measure of security.
And he's safe.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the roof.
That copper roof comes on. Oh, wow.
What do you think?
That was, forget it. It must have been tough.
Hold on, don't leave. Keep going. You got it?
Which side?
which way did you say was north?
North is that way?
Yeah, east, east, west, north, south. Wow. Oh man, that was sharp. Not many people have it. Really nice. Oh,
Which piece?
like the one you cut?
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, it looks really good. Oh man. West, north, south. That's perfect.
It's the horse and the ball.
Oh, you got the horse coming on. Yeah.
Gotta put some screws in her yet.
Can't beat that, dude. Even from the road, imagine from the road.
Oh, it's mean.
I think we got a happy customer.
Yeah. It looks awesome.
That copper roof makes the whole thing.
Yeah, copper's not cheap.
Half of your head.
With the black it's about 300 cheaper, but I got the copper. That is awesome. Yeah, you're gonna send me a whole bunch of link. You're gonna put all those links down and stuff.
I wrote it on the top of that.
What do I do? I go to Facebook/B.
www.facebook.com/BHS for Bob's
That's
Home
H.
Service.
Okay, BHS 1900.
7.
And where's that go?
That's the zip code, Bristol.
And you get what? You'll the people will.
Well, that's the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So when you go to that, you actually see the business Facebook page.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. That's your Facebook page.
Right. So when you go there, you'll see pictures of all kind of other projects and stuff.
And that's where I put my review.
No, I'll send you a link to that. I'll send you your email.
You got all my email stuff.
You've been getting messages from the system?
Yeah,
Reminding you and everything?
I got like 5 messages from you over the last 3 days because if I had to cancel,
Right.
you would book
So I'll
another-
just send it to that
I
email
gotcha.
address for the review.
I gotcha.
But when you look at that Facebook page, it'll be sometime, probably tonight, I'll get the pictures up there.
But I won't put any review on that.
You can comment on the picture if you want.
Oh.